When you write an academic paper, how do you begin? Do you just start writing a paragraph or an essay? Or do you do some kind of planning? What about after your planning? Do you write your paper in one shot? Then when you're done writing your paper, what's next? Is it ready to be turned in? In this video, we will look at how writing is a process, not just about a finished product. Also, we will learn about different stages of writing process, their steps, and how we can better prepare our ideas before we start writing. Are you ready? Let's begin. So what is a writing process exactly? I mean, what should it look like? In general, whether it's a writing assignment for school or writing required at work, when we approach a writing assignment, there are some common stages we go through, and that we call the writing process. And in this process, there are 3 general and basic stages involved. Let's take a look. The 3 common and basic stages we generally go through in our writing process are planning, writing, and editing. The first stage is planning, also often called pre-writing, and this is when we make a plan for our writing through a brainstorm and an outline. The second stage is actual writing, where we draft a paper based on what we planned in the first stage. It may take more than one draft, as we often revise and rewrite our work. The third stage is editing. This is when we clean up and fix any language problems so our communicated ideas are clear and understood. Each stage completes with one or more steps, and in this video we will look more into the first stage to understand how we can plan for our writing. So what do we do for a planning or pre-writing stage? What's its purpose? The planning stage helps us collect ideas about a topic we're going to write about. In other words, we are quickly identifying what we know and what we can write about the topic at hand. We don't want to spend too much for this, and if a topic requires some serious research or study, it's probably not the topic you want to write about. Now, how do we brainstorm? There are 3 common strategies for this, and we can pre-write, cluster, or list ideas as we collect. One way to brainstorm is to free write or journal. It's a quick write, meaning we just jot down the ideas about the topic that comes to our mind. It can be a few sentences or several pages long. And as our purpose here is to gather ideas, we don't need to worry too much about how we write, including organization and our language use, such as punctuation and grammar. There are 2 other ways to brainstorm ideas. One is called clustering or webbing, and the other is called listing. For clustering, we start with the topic in discussion and put it in the center circle, and then map our thoughts out. As we branch out ideas, any related thoughts can be added to each branch. This strategy is also called webbing, as it looks like a spider web of ideas. Similarly, for listing, we jot down key points and add related ideas for each point. It's just like how we create a shopping list. Unlike free writing, for both of these strategies, our ideas are collected and recorded in words and phrases, not in sentences. And obviously, you don't do all 3 strategies, but choose the one that best works for your brainstorm. After we complete the first step, brainstorm, then we organize the collected ideas for our assigned writing. And this is called an outline. The purpose of writing an outline is so that we can map out our key thoughts about the topic in a logical sequence. In other words, if you look at an outline, you will know what the writer is going to discuss in the paper and how it's delivered. This step is very important, as it's like we are creating a map with directions showing how we are getting to the final destination through a most logical way. So how do we transfer from brainstorm to outline? Also, what is a logical way to sequence our brainstormed ideas for an outline? For an academic writing, we follow the IBC, introduction, body, and conclusion organization when outlining our ideas. And here's how. First, look at your brainstorm. Choose the ideas that are well developed and clear to you for your writing purpose. Next, decide on which idea to come first, second, and so on. Put numbers on your brainstorm as you decide. And do you see that you are already organizing your ideas here? Now these numbered ideas will become the body part of your writing, whether for a paragraph or for an essay. You will then need to complete your introduction and conclusion based on these ideas. Just like brainstorm, we don't need to write them down in complete sentences, but in clear wording so we know what to say once we begin drafting our paper. Okay, here are the highlights of this video lecture. We focused on the two areas of process writing. One, an overview of how process writing works. And two, what the planning or rewriting stage is, including what steps and strategies we should know and how to do it. Whatever the length you're asked to write, whether a paragraph, an essay, or term paper, you can apply the same 3 stages of writing process. First to plan, then write, and then edit. In each stage, you have some steps and strategies that help you collect, organize, and deliver your ideas that are clear and complete to your audience. That's it! Stay tuned for more writing strategies in our next video lecture.